Hello, this is Junkyard Joe playing This War of Mine. This is a longtime favorite of mine. A game can have a message, and it doesn't have to be the most deep message ever, and you don't have to compare it to, like, the greatest art or whatever. I mean, it has a message. If it does it good, then I think that's enough, Just saying, in case anyone comments, oh, but it doesn't do it as well as this movie I know, or something, because I've talked about it, and then people say, it's not as good as this thing I know, so obviously it has no message. But, I think in the day and age of the modern shooter, it does help to try and have something that humanizes the people that aren't part of the conflict. So, we're going to be playing the story of Katia, Bruno, and Popley. They're sort of the original Three Musketeers, I guess. Each refugee of the war sort of has their own skill set, something that makes them useful. A few don't, but, that's a bit of a callous way to think of folks, right? Anyways, Erica, Marin, and Katia are the first three that I played through to the end on this update. But we're going to do Katia, Bruno, and Pavle. Now, any group that has Katia in it is sort of set as long as you're able to trade with the merchants, especially the one that comes to your door, because she's really good at trading stuff for more than it's worth. Alright, so this is the house that we're gonna go with. I usually like the one that has the tank outside, but, this one's alright. When the Civil War broke out, many people thought it would only last a couple of weeks. It's been years since government military surrounded the rebels in the capital, cutting off all supply lines. The civilian population trapped in the city are suffering from hunger, disease, and shelling. Katia met both Pavle and Bruno before the war. She used to be a reporter, while Bruno had his own television cooking show. Pavle was the star of the local football team. Katia even interviewed him once. Now they meet in dramatically different circumstances, looking for food and shelter. Now, okay, first day, no matter what group of people you have, first thing you want to do is collect all the loose supplies lying around in the shelter. You want to collect all those supplies, and you want to get rid of the rubble if you can. So you've got some food, some herbs, a lockpick, some components, a lump of sugar, and some wood. And components, just for context, it's anything like, nails, duct tape, plastic containers, scrap, but for purposes, it's just like any little odds and ends. Just grab all of it, because it's not like you gotta, think economically about your space while you're in your shelter. Some raw food, some herbs, parts, these are good. A lump of sugar, some clean water, and some electric parts, also good. Let's see, we got herbs, parts, sugar, water, electric parts. It's all good. Even if it was worthless, as long as it's in the shelter, just grab it, Also, you might think, hey, Junkyard Joe, you should know about rubble, so why aren't you making a shovel to move all that rubble? Well, while it's in your base, it's really not worth the time to, and the resources of making a shovel to move it when you have basically all the time in the world to move stuff in your own base. Herbs, parts, sugar, water, electric parts. Still a pretty decent haul. Also, I don't want to use up the lockpicks, Not if I can help it. Let's see, we're gonna need beds, chairs, we don't really need those right now. We don't need heaters either, because it's not winter yet. We do need a radio. And a crude stove. I mean, we do have the master chef Bruno. Moonshine still, later on. Metal workshop, yeah, we're gonna need that. Rainwater collector, at some point. And we don't really need to make fuel or filters. But first, let's make that radio. Let's see, let's pick a nice spot. Not in the kitchen, I like to keep the stove in the kitchen for some reason. You know, it's just how I like to do things. Let's see, let's place it right there. Oh, and one of the three starts off slightly sick. Doesn't really matter who, because slightly sick, you know, they can just sleep that off. So this first day, you want to sort of set things up. Get your supplies going, get people situated, build a few things. So, most survivors have a particular skill that sets them above all the others. So, it sort of characterizes them, you know, helps make them memorable. The rebel leader instructed us to warn the listeners not to cross the front line. Failure to comply could result in death. Ooh boy. The upcoming day should still be nice and warm, perfect for a stroll in the park. Despite desperate counterattacks by the rebels trying to lift the siege of Pogorin, the city remains cut off. Government forces do not allow any aid to reach the city, claiming it would end up in rebel hands. Alright, well, let's put on some radio Vicina. Might as well have something nice on. So, as I was saying, these characters, their special ability sort of characterizes them, makes them different than other people, makes them memorable. You got some herbs, a lockpick, some components, sugar, and wood. Yes, please. Like Pavle, he's a fast runner. He used to be a football star, and he's really good for scavenging missions or just helping out your neighbors, because sometimes it will come to you for help. Herbs, 2 parts, sugar, water, electric parts. Doing pretty good. Pretty decent haul. Katya, she's a reporter. Sort of, let's see, let's make that metal workshop make us a crowbar. Where's a nice spot to build? That's decent. Let's see. Katya, she was a reporter, you know, a war reporter. She's looking for her family. She can't find them. They're in the city somewhere. Or they might not be. She drinks coffee. So you want to keep some coffee and clean water around for her. Bruno used to be a TV chef. He had a show, Bruno's Cuisine. He doesn't really care so much for other people. He's not as keen on helping others. I mean, he's okay with it, and sometimes it boosts his morale, but it doesn't boost his morale a lot. Often he just doesn't care or feels that those you help should be more appreciative of what you're doing. Katya, she's a very good person, though. And so is Pavle. They got hearts of gold, so he's refugees. So let's make us a crowbar so we can save the lockpicks for the scavenging runs, where we need to keep quiet, which a crowbar helps with, you know? Let's see. Herbs, sugar, water, jewelry. Yeah, that's good. If you gotta barter outside when you don't have time for Katya's fast hands technique. Alright, so we'll record this first day of just setting up the base, and then the first night. Let's make us a bed for the person that's not gonna be on watch. Where do we want to put this? Might as well have someone napping upstairs, I guess. Let's put it over here. There we go. I want the bed to be too far away from, Alright. Bruno, open the locks. You want to get the hatchet and chop up the furniture in your face. Gives more room for building things, plus, you know, firewood and building materials. Alright, Pavle just finished clearing that out. Let's put Katia into bed so she can start recovering from those sniffles. Normally you'd use like full grade antibiotics for like if someone had a little head cold, but can't even afford the cheap herbal stuff. Bandages, herbs, clean water, and a book. Good book's uplifting, you know? You can also use them to make fuel, which is even better than being uplifting. Alright, they're gonna be clearing rubble. If there's any background noise, I'm recording in a public area, so might be some background noise, you know? Hope you don't mind. Let's just end the day. They'll keep doing what they're doing till the end of the day. See the looted gas station, the old town, the ruined villa, the quiet house. Now, the quiet house is where you go if you're desperate and you have nowhere else to go for supplies. Because there's like two old people living in the area that you would be looting. An old woman and man, grandparents. And they're pretty much defenseless, so let's not go there. The ruined villa. Well, again, we'd be hurting people. We're gonna try and avoid anything, bad for morale and karma, you know? The old town, I don't know, it's a little dangerous, you know? Snipers overlooking the area. Let's go with the looted gas station. It should be a safe place. We're gonna go with Pavle because he's fast, which means he can beat the dawn trying to come back. We're gonna bring a crowbar because there are locks. At least I think there's locks. It's been a while since I played. Looks like people have drained it dry since it didn't blow up after the shelling. So here's my strategy for scavenging in the night. You want to grab everything you can, and then you want to drop everything off in a central location. When everything is in one place, then you can make sure that you're carrying as much as possible, you know? Have all your slots filled. Okay, let's get rid of this rubble. It's gonna take a while, and you can't really speed through it in the night, so... This war of mine, man, it's a good game, but... You know... There are a couple criticisms, I guess. Like, when a character's feeling sad or depressed, like, you can make it apparent through dialogue, I guess. But when you get to the point where you put it under the conditions and stuff, like, it's not... I feel like that's kinda not as subtle as the rest of the message is in the story. Like, you don't need to, like, show that they are sad or depressed or broken in their, you know, hunger right next to how hungry and tired they are, you know? Like, I don't know. Let them talk through the dialogue, you know? Like characters normally do. But, to be fair, it is a game mechanic, and a lot of people would be upset if it didn't notify them, because then they'd be like, what, I'm supposed to tell through the dialogue? That, you know, you win, you lose, no matter what. Okay, so here's the thing. We're gonna use those shelves as our central location. We're just gonna drop everything in those shelves. First time they've been fully stocked since before the war, I guess. Yeah, those shelves full of stuff. You always want to check anything with a magnifying glass. There's a note under the table, not actually hidden, but it could be easily missed. From the style of handwriting, you can tell it was written by a woman, in a hurry. Milos, I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. I could not wait any longer. I hid some jewelry inside the books. Look for them in the basement, inside carton boxes behind the barred door. Use it. Stay alive, please. God bless you. I'm sorry. Now you see, that's some good subtle stuff right there. Oh, some herbal meds. That's good. That's definitely good. Because we got a sick woman at the base. Okay, so that whole thing about, you know, emoticons and sadness and whatever, it's not really that much of a real complaint. I really do enjoy this game. Like, not as in I love it, it's so fun. It's sad, but I really do enjoy it. It's good, and it does make you think. But I guess there's one character design failing, and that comes to characters that aren't useful. Like ones that have no real purpose. They aren't good at fighting, they aren't good at bartering, they aren't good at scavenging, aren't good at anything. Then they aren't really, memorable, I guess? Like, there's one, like, some characters are memorable even if they aren't really good for anything. Like, there's an old man, an old professor. You know, he's an old lonely man, and he's good at, laying the rat traps that are able to catch food, like, a day or two earlier than it normally does. And he's still memorable because of his personal story, but a lot of them aren't. This poor man had been caught by the shelling. What was he doing here? Now that I think was Milos. My memory isn't perfect, but I think that was him. Grab some lumber. We might not be able to get everything in a central location before the night is over. I mean, it's already past midnight, almost 2 o'clock. We just grab what we can, and then we make sure our pockets are completely full before we go. See, we're already having trouble grabbing everything. Oh, the locked thing is behind bars. Oh, I need to make a saw blade to get in there. Shoot. Well, we got some raw food, raw vegetables, herbs, plenty of water. Still need some fuel. So that's where the lock is. It's behind the bars. And the jewelry's right there. I think that's jewelry at least. Let's see, we got some screws and wood and tape down there. Now, normally you'd want to be thinking about how fast you can get home at this point, but we got Pavle. He runs really fast. No need to worry with him. But we did make a blunder by not remembering that, the lock is behind bars. So that means we either bring the crowbar home and we have one inventory space basically wasted, or we leave it here and then not have the crowbar at home where we might need it. I don't think we got all the locked containers at the home base. Okay, there's some parts. That's useful. Alright, it's nearing 4 o'clock, so we're gonna have to get all our supplies and head back to base. Let's see if we can't just gather everything that's accessible together and then decide what we're bringing home. Okay. Got some components and some scrap wood. So, let's dump everything on the shelves. This is a well-stocked store. Let's see, we want to get the raw food. We want to get the raw vegetables. Those herbal meds. Yes, thank you. Some coffee? Maybe. 10 bottles of water. Yes. Weapon parts. You do need those. Electric parts. Yes, you need those too. Parts. Definitely need mechanical parts. Components. Absolutely. But you also need the wood. We're gonna have to bring that crowbar back. It's a bit of a wasted space, but you know, guess I should have remembered that. Besides, with the way how we're making things all economical, it's less of a waste than if we just grabbed a bunch of stuff and left, thinking we filled everything with the most important stuff possible. Remember, always have a centralized loot pile that you return to night after night. It's a lot easier. So, we leave the dead man in the rafters and we go back to base. Alright, I'm gonna go by a day and a night cycle for each episode. So, I'm gonna leave it here. Day 2 will be next episode. We're just gonna go over the message, the outcome of last night. Found a bunch of good stuff. Let's see, Pablo found a bunch of good stuff, and nobody tried to rob the house. That will happen. People will try to rob your shelter, so you're gonna want to have some people on guard. Staying up all night will make them tired, but you're gonna want to have some people on guard. Alright, my trash men and trash women. This has been Day 1 and Night 1 of this war of mine with Katia, Pavle, and Bruno. I will see you on Day 2. Thanks for stopping by.